Okay, so I've introduced the kit. I've showed you how to update the hub. I've showed you how to connect the Wi-Fi to the hub. And then I've talked to you about the software. Now I'm just going to kind of talk to you about some classroom management. You're going to get a sea of Lego tubs. A couple things about it, and I've kind of mentioned it. You want to figure out a labeling scheme. So I have all mine labeled by numbers. Every brick has a number to it. So you can see I've labeled the number, the brick itself has a number. So this is box 46. It has a tub that corresponds with it. So here's box 46. It has extra labels on it. You open it up, this is labeled. And even the tubs themselves, if we look, are labeled. So all of these have labels on them too. And even underneath this, I've put a label. If you don't, what will happen is the kid will set it on the table and grab another kid. And then one tub will have 2 of this tray and the other tub will have 2 of that tray. They will leave these around, but the more you label, the better off you are. I haven't got to the point where I'm labeling individual parts and components, but I'm trying to label as much as the main ones as I can. And so we have the thing. Now, you do need to figure out management, like where you're going to put things. There's a couple options you can have. As you can see, this is just made out of old shelving the school had. We built a brand new school and we moved. And this is literally just pieces of wood screwed. And then I just made the shelving. I redid an old library shelf. And then I made this. This is holding about 42 kits. You do want to think of what you're going to do for your extra pieces, your storage. Also, the pieces, there's going to be some pieces that are lost and stolen, or hopefully not stolen, but are taken or moved or lost. So you need, oh, Miss Kelly, I'm missing this part. So I've made some kits. So this has set number of parts. I have storage of my extra parts in here. So I recommend you come up with something like that, because you will have, what do you do with your extra parts? And when a kid needs it, where can they go get it? That's one way of doing it. Another way you can do is you can repurpose. So this is a repurposed, this whole unit here is a repurposed library cart. So that's all I've done. I've just repurposed it, labeled it, so that I can go both sides and hold a few. And also it is portable, which is nice to have, because then you can move it as you need to. Okay, that is something. Then you can see I have these carts are purchased. What these have is you can hold about 12 kits in them, and then in the kit they just slide in, slide out. Again, everything's labeled. It also gives you you do need to think about when they're building, where do these robots go? You need a place for them to be stored. So while they're in the process of building, they can leave them and come back and forth. You do have to think about that as you go. As you can see, I have mine on across the top here. And so what happens is, this is my class. That's tomorrow's class. And then when they go and take theirs, I will move the class that's coming next. So those get moved up, because then they're charging. And on that, you do have to think about how are you charging. I bought a unit like this. This has 20. You can get different variations. I have this on my wall. 2 of these units are sitting directly on my wall. Like one's over there, one's over there. And I have them on just a surge protector that I can click and turn off. And this is what I plug in. Again, I rotate my groups. So that's tomorrow's class. Everything up there is tomorrow's class. And then these ones down here and over here are that one over there. Those are my next class, and I'll just do the rotation. I could have another shelf and have these so that they could plug in. I'm going to kind of work on that. I have if you have a class of 20, 2024, that would work perfect. I have classes. So if I have all 3 6th grade classes doing it, I'm in the 60, 70, 80 kids. So it becomes a logistic thing. And that's pretty much management that you have to think about.